All right. So, Lynda, can you please walk us through the different scope of practice for each role so pet parents can understand who can legally diagnose, prescribe, and create treatment plans, and who is there to provide education and support?
Sure, I'd love to. Veterinarians are the only professionals that can legally diagnose medical conditions, prescribe medications, perform surgery, and really create a medical treatment plan. They're trained in pathology, pharmacology, clinical care. We spend a lot of time on these things so that we can be responsible for the decision making for your pet's health. And some veterinarians are also certified nutritionists and pet health coaches as well, holistic pet health coaches as well. Board certified veterinary nutritionists. They are the vets that have gone on for advanced training after vet school in nutrition. They've spent years in residency and clinical training. They can handle the complex medical cases like the cancer patients, the chronic kidney failure patients, and really take that extra step to make formulated diets that are for that specific condition to help that dog or cat, whatever pet it is. The thing about veterinary nutritionists is you do have to make sure that, they have the philosophy that you are in line with when you hire a veterinary nutritionist, because there are still veterinary nutritionists who are more trained within the system and beliefs of emphasizing prescription diets and kibble, right? So you do have to be careful that if you are seeking a veterinary nutritionist, that you pick one that is approaching with fresh food diets and can help you feed a real food diet that is formulated for that specific condition. On the other hand, nutrition coaches or certified canine nutritionists, we hear a lot about them these days. And you want to make sure that, I've had great experiences with vet nutritionists, and I've had canine nutritionists, and I've had really bad experiences with them. So you have to be really careful. I think that there is a place for them, but it is really important to know, did they get a weekend certification or did they get a more advanced nutrition certification and training in order to be able to help you formulate maybe a raw diet, a gently cooked diet for your dog. What formulation tools are they using? That's a great question to ask them if you're looking for a veterinary nutritionist. How are they going to balance whole foods? Do they have one template that they're giving every pet that comes their way? Or are they really going to tailor that to your dog's specific needs? And also, how much experience do they have? And that goes for anything, right? There's green vets that come right out of vet school, and they may not be the person that you want if you have a dog that has a chronic condition. Same with these nutrition coaches. How long have they been doing it? How many cases have they had? Do they specialize in particular cases? If they come across and say, I can treat everything, well, that's a red flag because I can't treat everything, right? If someone really needs homeopathic, I'm going to send them to a homeopath. I have a little dove, a little bird that we have now. I took her to the avian vet last week, right? Because that avian vet, that's all they do. And they're going to be better at taking care of that and knowing how to treat my dove than me trying to, be the hero and say I'm a great vet, I know everything, right? So that's a red flag for any of these coaches or vets. And then you've got and then with the nutrition, I would say, okay, if your dog has a condition, look for that nutrition coach who has been out for a while, has testimonials. Ask them for referrals, to talk to some of the clients they've helped. That's really important. The newer ones that are just coming out, they could be great at helping a healthy dog get off kibble, right? Because your vet may not be the best person for that. That nutritionist who that's all they're doing now could help you get that dog off of kibble in a healthy way. Because in the clinics, we have 15-minute appointments a lot of the times, right? So going in and talking for half an hour about nutrition is not possible. So going to one of these nutritionists could really be helpful and just be another person to have on your team for your dog, but it shouldn't be the only person, right? And then there's the holistic pet health coaches. And these coaches can really bring in another level of care for your dog. And it's just like, think about it like us. If I wanted to elevate my health, and I might go to a holistic coach who that's all they're doing, and they're going to help me elevate my health through my lifestyle, through my choices, through my environment, nutrition on not maybe as deep a level as a nutritionist, but they can help me make better choices and create plans. They might help me with reducing inflammation, things like that. Holistic pet health coaches, I think, are a great idea. If I was going to start a brick and mortar right now, I would have nutritionists and holistic pet coaches as part of my whole team, so that when I go in and I'm treating a case and I'm getting them set up, I can say, we do need to talk about nutrition, or I do want some holistic modalities added and I don't have time to talk about it. I've got this great holistic coach who can come in that I trust and go over that with them and set up that part of their plan. So I love the idea of it. You just have to be careful that you are not relying on them for diagnosis, treatment of severe diseases, and not utilizing your vet. A red flag would be any of these coaches coming in and say you don't need your vet, right?
Or you don't, or take them off the medication.
Yes.
Taking off medication is a big deal.
It's a big deal. I've had some of them taking dogs off seizure medication that have been on seizure for years, that I've had to come in and deal with and get them back on their meds and add the holistic modalities. And yes, maybe down the road, you may be able to wean them off of some, but that's not for you to do, right? Yeah. So that's just an overall picture of the different types of health professionals, coaches that you can have on your team for your dog. But you've got to be careful that you are not relying on one solely, and that you're looking into their background. How are they educated? Are they sitting behind a computer all day, or have they been in the trenches and really treated cases before giving advice on how to elevate your own dog's health or support them through conditions?
Yeah. I just want to chime in a little bit before we go to the next question. I think the other thing to be important that you hit on a little bit is you need to check references. You need to check the references. You need to look online and see what kind of comments there are. There's one person that we know that does not have good comments and good referrals. And if you did your research and you maybe checked in my group or maybe looked at the Better Business Bureau or some of the other things, you would find a lot of information about this person that would be very alarming. And so you need to gut the details. And I like when people come in my group and they ask, it's not my place to take people off of medication. It's not my place to say, don't do this, don't do this. I can say, yes, maybe Adored Beast would help and stuff like that. But when it comes to actual medication and taking people off and giving an actual treatment, you need to go to a vet. That's what they're there for. That's where they're trained with and stuff like that. Don't take a chance, and take it from me. I killed my dog. So I don't want anybody else to do that.